Hello and welcome to Backlinking, the PKM podcast. If you listen to this podcast on Spotify, today's episode is a day late, and I'm going to spend a minute on this because it describes me really, really well and why I'm so much into PKM and productivity and stuff. I the reasoning is simply that I was sure that I had filmed and scheduled this week's podcast episode. I hadn't, but I was sure that I had. So I just didn't do it. It's that simple, which is something that happens to me a lot. I was actually going to talk about productivity trends for 2026, but I think I will save that one for next week. Instead, we are going to dive into Mymind and talk a little bit about Mymind because sometimes I do these podcast episodes on applications that I think are doing really, really well. And the reason why is just because people seem to like it. And also, I think a lot of these applications deserve more praise than they are getting, especially some of the older ones like Craft or like MyMind, which have been around for a while, and they don't get like the same amount of hype on their new features as many other applications would get. But we are just starting off with me reading through the MyMind website. I will pull it up for those of you watching because we are going to go over uh, some of the things they've added uh, recently. So they've made, let's just go further down. There is just so much here. Let's start with the app cards. I think that came this year. There are more things in here, but let's start with the new custom app cards. So now if you save an application to MyMind, it actually gets a custom app card and you can like search for your apps to see all of your apps. This is amazing if you are a productivity nerd like me. I use this a lot to save the applications and remember them later. They add movie and reading list improvements. So they added a button where you can click that you've already read this book or watched the movie or watched the series. I think this works with articles as well. And they've generally like improved it as sort of a consumption tracker and a reading list, which is great since Pocket decided to shut down. So that is also something they've added. They've added tag hopping on mobile. So you've been asking for this. This is what they are saying. You've been asking for this one. The tag experience on mobile just got better. You can tab a tag on mobile, and you can now see other cards containing the same tag. To delete a tag in the mobile app, press and hold until they wiggle. So they've like basically just improved the tagging on the mobile application. You can now also, well, not now, but this year they added the ability to reorder spaces inside of MyMind. That hasn't been something you could do previously. I am currently using MyMind, and MyMind is one of these applications. A little like Readwise, I tend to like cancel them every month and start them on again like every other month because they are just that good. And MyMind, especially for visual note takers, or if you are like me and you have to design a lot and you need a lot of inspiration, like MyMind has been my the best place for me to like curate my own internet. That is what I'm often referring it as it to, like a place where I can curate my own internet because there is so much bad stuff on the internet and so much rage bait, which I'm trying to avoid just for my general mental well-being. So that is one of the reasons why I keep coming back to MyMind. And reorder spaces is great. This is great if you want a project to like be first out of your spaces, or if you use a lot of spaces. I don't, so it doesn't make or it doesn't like do anything special for me. They've improved products. So in MyMind, if you save a product like a pen, you get a specific like product card. That has been something they've added. Now you can see the brand, you can see the materials, You get a little like TLDR in on the bottom, and like they are saying in this in the improvement post on their website or in the app. Uh, did you notice products got a nice upgrade inside your mind? You will now see a refined card design, including a beautiful product image. You got to see a really good product image previously as well, but they have made it a little better. The price tag with support for more currencies, a direct link to source for purchase, the brand and materials where applicable. That is what I mentioned. The product descriptions and of course tags. So basically just an improvement here. A lot of the stuff was already possible to do inside of Mymind, and products also got a product card previously, but it is much better now. And I've also found that it is much more reliable. They've also added refinements to top of mind, so you can drag your cards onto top of mind. So let me just show you for those of you watching. So I can take a card, hold it with my mouse, and just pull it to the top of my mind, and it will just stay on the top as I scroll. Which is great to just basically keep something top of mind, highest priority. It is basically on the top of your application. So they made improvements to that. Objects now look more polished in top of mind, making them feel more like treasures on your shelf. They've also added support for new objects like films and albums. You can drag and reorder objects in your top of mind. It should all feel smoother and cleaner too, and they've also refined the design overall, giving you more space and making it easier to see what you've prioritized up there. They've still kept it limited because if everything is top of mind, nothing is. I've always like enjoyed how Mymind is an application that is really opinionated. That is one of the things I really love about Mymind. They have opinions, like the application is opinionated, and a lot of applications are not. They will just put everything, every feature, and it will end up destroying the application. I've been trying to get Mymind onto the podcast to discuss exactly that. I haven't been able to so far, but still hoping that I at some point can do that, because I think the fact that they have so many opinions and they keep sticking to them is one of the things I love most about the whole brand and the whole application and the whole idea of the application. Autoplay for videos in your mind. And here it says, yes, Mymind supports video files. You can upload them directly. Yes, they just shipped autoplay on hover, so you don't even have to open them. And it is fast, it is easy, it is perfect for short clips like animation, references, or whatever inspires you. Basically, if Mymind looks a lot like Pinterest, and if you save videos and you hover over those videos, they will just start autoplaying. Again, a small thing, but something I really like. They added support for IG galleries, so Instagram galleries, multiple images, these posts on Instagram which have like multiple images in them. Now you can actually save them to Mymind, and Mymind will display them really beautifully, like almost like the way Instagram does it, just without all of the Instagram branding and all of the stuff. I like the way Mymind does it better. If Instagram starts doing this, maybe I will go back. And basically what they say here is that you can now save them in your mind and display them beautifully the Mymind way. That is also something I really like about Mymind. Everything is just looks good, and they make a really big point out of making the application look good, which makes it more enjoyable to use. The best part, posts are automatically tagged and indexed, so you can find them just like all other things. In Mymind, they get tagged. Once you've saved it to your mind, it's your own private copy, even if the original post gets deleted. That is also something Mymind does. Next one is images inside of notes. You can now actually drag an image into your notes. I won't go too deep into this because I made 3 videos about it. That is how big I feel like this is. So You can now add images in Notes simply by dragging and dropping them to upload. This also works in Quick Note, Expanded Notes, and in Focus mode. So you have multiple ways to see a note. You can either use the Quick Note, which is basically a post-it just to write something down. So it works in there. It works when you open up a note inside of Mymind, and it also works when you are in the Mymind focus mode. They've also added a backslash menu, and it also works in something called Mind Note, which is a note next to the note. So they've added in there as well. They've added Markdown file support, which is basically a way for you to import Markdown files. And they have said that they will continue to add more Markdown coverage in the future. They've also added, as I mentioned, the backslash menu. They've added support for arxev links. I'm not sure how you say that. I've never used it, but this is for researchers. You'll have your own PDF copy. They're analyzed with a TLDR summary. Your Mind will automatically add AI tags. It's fully indexed for easy search recall. And that is basically it. This is not a file type I use. They've also added, this is one of the biggest ones, they've added tagging to notes. So previously you could not tag notes inside of, or you could tag notes, but the AI wouldn't tag notes for you. It wouldn't auto tag things. Mastermind members, which is the highest paid plan, which is $12.99. I remember it because I just paid for it again. Notes in Mymind just got a serious upgrade. Notes now summarize and tag themselves. Before, you could only search by the exact words you wrote to find a note. Now you can search by broader ideas or relationships, making recall much easier. And of course, the longer the note is, the better it gets. Privacy is still their number one priority here. The notes analyzer only uses Bedrock, which gives them the strictest guarantees. The content never leaves AWS, is never logged, and is never shared with the model providers. This is an important update because it lays the foundation of something bigger to come. But basically, my note-taking with text inside of Mymind got a huge upgrade with this. They've also brought Top of Mind back to mobile. This is also something I really liked. We talked about Top of Mind earlier, but it is in mobile as well. The last two things I wanted to mention is that they talked about an important update that, like the note taking or the auto tagging and TLDR on notes, was an important update because it lays the foundation of something bigger to come. I think that bigger thing is like a button that allows you to see all of your similar notes. Mymind already does this with images. I think they will add it to notes as well. So if I go into Note, I right click and or I open it and I click like a button called similar notes, it will show me everything that is similar. AI is getting really good at that. I think that will be an amazing upgrade. The last thing I wanted to mention before I will end this podcast off is that Mymind also now has backlinking, or not fully backlinking, but you can link to another note. Mainly this works with written notes. I would really love it if it could work with images, articles, movies, all different types inside of Mymind. They haven't announced it yet. They posted something on about it on X or Twitter, and I have been testing it out myself. I love it, but they also said there that it will be upgraded. Basically, it works more like a link, so I can do double square brackets, and I get a link, and I can click it, and it is, of course, beautifully displayed as everything else in Mymind. So this is also a great upgrade. I think that they will do more with it because it isn't backlinking like you would expect in many other applications, but I still think it is really good, and I'm really happy to have it. So my point here is that they've just shipped so many amazing cool features, and it goes a little under the radar because Mymind has been around for such a long time. I just wanted to like do a video talking about everything they've released, not only because the features are really good, but it is really hard. We saw it with Space Duck. It is really hard to like be on top of the note-taking space for long periods of time. For even like 5 6 years is really hard because things change. You need to constantly update and improve your stuff, and even your branding and your marketing, because my mind started off with marketing the AI features, so the fact that you could have AI auto tag things for you. But now that is a commodity. Everyone does it. Like all note taking apps will do that soon, and most of them already auto organize for you. They changed strategies and focused on privacy, focused on making things beautiful, focused on this idea of the internet not being as good as it used to, so you can save a bunch of stuff into your own note-taking app. They added more PKM stuff. They've done so much good stuff. It is still an expensive application, but I think they deserve a lot of praise for like being able to keep going for so long and keep adding the right features and sticking to their idea, sticking to their plan. I I am a really big fan of how they've done things, and I'm also a really big fan of like the application in general. But this year, like they've added so many features. We went over a few of them just in this podcast episode, and it is now 17 minutes. So if you take away like 6 7 minutes, it took me like 10 minutes to go over everything. It just says something about how much they've like been able to add. I am really impressed with everything they've done, and I'm really happy with the application. I use it on Android, I've used it on iOS as well, and I just wanted to like make an appreciation podcast episode. That is probably what this is, and just a reminder that some of these quote unquote older applications are actually adding a lot of cool features that are worth looking at. I think that covers it for today's episode. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I will try to get to them as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching or listening to today's episode.